Hi everyone and welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of FCTV. First one since the Christmas period, so we've got loads to discuss. Lots of games have been played from both men's and women's and the under-18s and Resi's games. And we've got two great guests with us here in the studio. Familiar face with Mike Smith, first team manager. Welcome Mike again. Found your way again. This is your second time on board, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
yeah.
fair dues. And we've got a new guest with us today. Jess Muirhead, who's the captain of the women's team. She's sitting in for Rosie, who's got the sniffles today. So hope you're getting better soon, Rosie. But welcome, Jess.
Thanks.
Let's have a quick look at the games first. Let's start with the men's team. So there's been 5 games since the last time we filmed. We've had a New Year. We started with a loss, close loss with Padiham, 2-1 loss there. But then we went on a great winning streak with a last-minute win over City of Liverpool. I think a lot of people enjoyed that for so many different reasons, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And then we'll go into a thrashing of Barnoldswick Town 5-0, which was a thumping victory for the boys there. So they did exceptionally well. A below-par performance against Litherland, coming away with a 2-2 draw. And then an absolute resounding win under monsoon conditions on Saturday against Charnock Richard, again at home, coming away with a 6-2 victory. So we've got lots to discuss about the men's team. So we'll get stuck in there before I get sidetracked and mixed up with all different games. So Mike, again, welcome. It's been a whirlwind start to the new year. What's your opinions over the overall as the 4 or 5 games you've looked at before we get into the nitty-gritties of each of the games?
I think we've got to be pleased with the return that we've had, but with a little tad of disappointment as well. I think we played Padiham, tough place to go, one of the top sides in the division, and we've dominated the game until obviously the last 10 minutes where we've had a sending off, and it sort of deflated us a little bit. And we've conceded, I think, the 90th minute from a set piece, which it's always disappointing to concede from a set piece. But we regrouped and we went into the Tuesday night against City Liverpool, knowing that they're on the back of some heavy defeats and it's a bit of a banana skin game, and they're always quite tricky to go into them, and everyone's expecting you to come away with a massive win, and it didn't quite work that way. I thought we were by far the better team from start to finish. Yeah. They spent a lot of the games.
It's like you said, those games they're dangerous because you just see the results of what they're doing, and then suddenly I remember I was having a conversation about 45 minutes before kick-off and you're thinking, they brought some new faces in. So particularly one of the big things was the goalkeeper, wasn't he? Yeah. He had an exceptional game. But you're right, it was all one-way traffic. Yeah. And we just couldn't finish that ball off there.
I said to the lads before, I expect them to sit in deep, expect them to just try and catch it on the break. They want us to throw bodies forward and get desperate for a goal. And that's sort of how it played out. We ended up with one defender at times. There was a couple of times it was Ryan Sin. It was at the back on his own. We had everyone forward. Going for the goal because it was a game that we felt we had to win. And as late as the winner come, and it was only 1-0. It was 3 points on the board.
It's a different type of pressure though, isn't it? Because with an expectations, FC's going to win, or whoever considering the results they've had, it's a different type of pressure, but it's a horrible pressure, isn't it? That you got to face.
And as you said about the goalkeeper as well, if you didn't have that goalkeeper in, who'd have brought in from Runcorn that day. They don't have him in, then quite a lot of the chances and the opportunities that he saved, another keeper doesn't, to be fair. But 3 points is 3 points, and
it was. I mean, you could hear the cheer from Ruskin Drive, I think, when that goal went in. And I was fortunate to stood behind the goal at the time, and I could see it curling in. Yeah, it was a unique spot to have, and so as soon as it left his foot, we knew it was going to be at the back of the goal, and.
Yeah, it was. It was a great finish. Yeah.
We had some excitement after the game as well, which was always a bonus. Yeah.
We did, yeah.
But I think emotions ran high a little bit there.
Yeah, it's about that. A few of our girls were there.
Yeah. It was an interesting one, but those games have gone now. So if any, at the end of the day, it's 3 points in the bag. Yeah. So based on that kind of was the catalyst for the next game, which was Barnoldswick away, and we took a lot of frustration out, I think, from that City of Liverpool game into the Barnoldswick game, and the score reflects that. Yeah,
I wasn't overly pleased with things that we done through the game. I spoke to the lads after and told them that, and then when we trained on the Thursday, we actually done a hot yoga session because I knew that some of them we had knocks before the City Liverpool game, so we done that, and it was good. Spoke to the lads after it and just told them that you know, they've had a bit of a night off from football to rest their bodies, and it was important that we went into the Barnoldswick game, which is a tricky game as well, because they're a good side, they've got some good experienced players, and it was important we went into that, and we changed the shape. Felt like we had to. We had to do something different, so we changed the shape, changed personnel, and I'd said to them from the off, I don't want us sitting back, I don't want us sort of in like a mid-block. We need to be high up the pitch, and we need to go and get after them. You know, we could have been 3-0 up in the first 10 minutes. We missed 2 chances.
I think I mean, yeah, it was quite frightening just how quickly we got out the starting block with that one. But I think one of the key differences was obviously Tom Lawless came into that game, didn't he? And you mentioned about changing the shape a little bit, and that kind of supported him coming in and starting from straight away, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, and we put Ryan Sinner up front with him, so they played off each other.
Yeah.
And the work from Ryan was outstanding, and Tom bullied the centre halves. He didn't give them a minute, and they worked well together. And you know, we've scored the first, and then quickly the second, and then the third, and we've gone in 3-0 at half time. And I expect them to come out and change things and make a load of subs, and they didn't really. Which surprised me. They made subs but stayed the same in terms of shape. And
do you surprise it? Because you may or may not have noticed this, but he was obviously a very angry manager at half time, and rightfully so. But he was one of these managers that also he literally had a very brief conversation at half time and sent the players out. So they were stood around a good 5 minutes before you and the referees come out the changing room. So I didn't think that was a good move for them that way, because it was still cold. It was a cold day as well, so they were stood round a little bit. But
no,
it was,
regardless of the weather,
it kind of backfired a little bit on them a little bit.
I've done it myself when we've gone in at half time, and we've been well beaten, and I've made 5 subs and I've changed the shape, and the lads have stayed in there and until we're called to go out, and I'll go around them individually and tell them like what I think of what they've just done, or the performance, and make sure that they think about the game themselves and reflect on it themselves. And it's you know, it's difficult at times, but I think for us, when we have come out, and I think we were 5-0 up then within 60 minutes, and we sort of just took the sting out the game, and could have had a couple more, but we took the 5. And then obviously going into Remacher on the Wednesday, I said to him before, it was new. They've got a new manager in, doubling 4 or 5 different players in. They're fighting for their lives. It's a local derby. It's a tough place to go, and you've got to match the intensity that they'll bring. Otherwise, it can be tough. And I thought we started off brilliantly, and then we lost our way massively, and we were probably fortunate to come away with a 2-2 draw in the end, even though we've missed a chance from 2 yards in the last minute to win the game, which would have been harsh on them. But and then obviously they knew after it that I expected a reaction going into Saturday. And
I mean, the one big positive from that Remy game was, again, the guy we mentioned before, Ryan Sinner. He was on fire, and he took a fantastic goal. It was, you know, his control and his ability to nip round a few players and bury it the way he did was phenomenal. I think it was laughing with his dad on the side, because I think one of the biggest downfalls Ryan has is that he's sometimes too quick, and he'll nip that ball away from a defender, and he's suddenly going down on goal. But he's that quick, he almost runs past his own ball. He just needs to, once he's made that initial, he just needs to slow down and have a bit of a composure, and he'd probably have a few more on his tally, wouldn't he? But
he was outstanding that game. Obviously, he killed us a little bit as well, because he told us at half time that he played on Sunday and his hamstring was sore. So we got 5 minutes out of him in the second half, and he was a big threat for us. And once he'd come off, obviously you got Barker going in, but they're completely different players. And we weren't set up right for that. Which it took a little bit of time to adjust the system and to make sure that we were trying to get the best out of both him and Tom.
I suppose Ryan needs to learn about that. You know, at the end of the day, you know, so well enjoying playing the game as much as he loves playing the game. We've also got to be mindful of the level he's playing at. And as a result, he's picked up a small injury, hasn't he? So,
we've had a lot of games as well in a short space of time, which won't have helped him. And he's played quite a lot of minutes. So I don't think that will have helped him as well. But you know, he ended up out the squad on Saturday with China just because of his hamstring injury, and he could be out now for 3-4 weeks with it.
Wow.
But you know, we went into Saturday, and again, Joe Barker and Tom Lawless up front was the idea of get them 2 up front together, and put the game plan around them from the start, and they were like 2 battering rams, to be fair. They couldn't cope with them.
I mean, like I said, I've only saw the highlights on video because I was away myself, but you know, I was obviously getting updates from the sidelines, and I was awestruck when it was like 4-0 up, and it was just before half time, I think it was, and then they pulled one just before half time, didn't they? Yeah. But it's a fantastic result all around, and like I said, the conditions were appalling to say the least.
The worst, but I'll be honest, I love the pitch like that.
Yeah.
Keep
Don't
it like
get used
that.
to it. Well, you might get used to it on Saturday.
It's brilliant.
We'll probably never play again.
Yeah, the rest of the women's teams have absolutely knackered now. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, listen, a phenomenal win, and it was nice to see a good spread of goal scorers as well, really. And even Tom didn't even get on the score sheet, didn't? But like I said, he struck. I mean, I don't really know the lad, obviously, because he's only just joined us, but he strikes me as kind of like he gets a equal enough buzz by supplying a goal, doesn't he, rather than actually scoring them as well.
He's slotted them brilliantly. Like he's not trained with us yet as well.
Oh really?
We've had games.
Of course,
because we played Saturday and we signed on the Friday. We played
this
Saturday,
hot
Wednesday,
yoga
Saturday.
stuff. This is how the world's changed. Hot yoga. We
did it that week as well. It was like a coincidence.
Absolutely.
What
brilliant.
is the world
same
come
place.
to? Hot yoga, right? Okay.
Don't knock it, stay until you've tried it.
Well, I'll have to Google it because I've no idea what it is. But yeah, I'll try that one.
Very relaxing.
Is it?
Yeah, very relaxing.
I used to go to the pub for it.
To relax.
No. Listen, I mean, before we jump on to the women's team, I mean, we mentioned about Tom Lawless, but there's obviously a couple of other new names coming in there. So if you want to give a quick rundown of a couple of additional faces we brought in since Christmas.
So obviously Tom Lawless come in. We signed him from Aden LR. He played for Glossop last season and he'd scored 25, I think, for Glossop last season. He's played against us this season for LR and scored a late winner against us. He'd moved on to Trafford, but it wasn't really working out there, and we were looking for a forward, and it come about. So he's a player that I like. So we got in touch straight away, and it was a bit of a no-brainer for him. He wanted to come, and I said to him, "You're going to come and you're going to play games." Every time we speak to before, but they always say, "We've got Joe Barker. I'm not going to play ahead of him." It's like, but it's not just about playing ahead of him. Go and play together. Yeah. If you got you two up front together, like I wouldn't want. If I was a centre half, I wouldn't want to play against them. Two big lads that are fit. They don't stop running. They'll put themselves about. So that was the idea with him. He's come in. Obviously, the first game he come in back was banned. He scored. Then he scored in the second game. He's had a couple of assists the other day and done another 90 minutes. So he's getting fitter. And then we've just recently signed Kyle King, midfielder from Witton Albion. Played out of like for a while. Technically brilliant. He's been out for 14 months, so we've got to take our time with him. Yeah. But he works hard himself as well to get himself up to speed. He's been back in training now for probably 6 weeks. So he's ready to start growing his minutes, and he's come on for 15 the other day. Tough conditions to come on into. Yeah. But, we'll train with us on Thursday, and then he'll be involved again Saturday, and we'll just keep growing his minutes, but he'll be a great asset once he's up to speed.
Yeah, fantastic. Brilliant. Okay. Women's team. So flying as normal. I can't remember the last time you were actually sat on the floor just doing nothing, this women's team. So, I mean, you've had 4 games since New Year?
3. We've had 3.
That's right. 2 against Rochdale, weren't they?
2
League.
Rochdale.
Yeah.
And then we played Salford on Sunday last.
That was a crunch game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a big game.
So that result really has put you a bit of breathing space with games in hand, really, to try and clinch the title.
And they dropped points yesterday as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they drew 1-1 yesterday. So they're on 37 and we're on 34, and we've got 4 games in hand. So
is there anyone else in the mix apart from Salford?
So Rochdale aren't far behind us.
Right.
And then Atherton, they can finish on 40 points. We've done the maths.
Right, yeah.
They can finish on 40. So I think once we've hit 40 points...
Right, okay.
We should be
So you kind of you mentioned to them about Atherton might be the game, potentially. Is that home or away?
Yeah, that's a home game, the 1st of March. So that as long as the 22nd goes ahead, we've got to beat Wigan.
Yeah.
And then Atherton on the 1st is, I think, potentially when we could clinch it.
It's been a great... And I know Rosie, particularly when we've discussed it in the studios before, she's fiercely proud of what the girls have achieved, and rightfully so. And I think the club all as a whole are fiercely proud of what you've achieved, and it's particularly where you go into. That's sometimes the journey as well as where you're going to end up. So it's been outstanding. But it's different for us slightly now, because normally we're talking to managers and things like that. So you're the first time we've really had a player. So what type of... What do you see differently? How do you think sees differently compared to what your manager would do?
I think, obviously, compared to Rosie, I think we just get the perspective of the players, and the unity in the squad is really good this season.
Yeah.
I think, and we've made some really big signings as well. And I think being on the pitch with those players, you see, you know, the effort they put in. Yeah. We've got Sarah Mitchell this season. She's been unreal, the girl from America. She's just played absolutely everywhere. I think you really appreciate that when you're on the pitch with her. Yeah. And just the way she is in training, and it's the same for all the girls. I could sit and talk about every single player. Yeah. You know, they're all brilliant. They've all had, I think, a brilliant season so far.
Good. Okay, and then of course it's not just about the league as well. You've got a little matter of 2 cup competitions coming up. So you've got the Preston North End next Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday coming.
So that's the League Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, the League
Cup. Are they in your division? Or?
Above, they're in the league above, yeah.
Right, okay.
So, and we've played them before, and it was quite a tight game. We played them in pre-season a couple of years ago. Right. So I think this weekend will be an interesting one. Yeah, and then we've got Blackpool the week after. I think that's in the plate. Yes. And that'll be another interesting one. We played them in our second season, and it was a bit of a thrashing. So it'll be nice to see how we get on, how far we've
How are they doing at the moment, Blackpool?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I don't know if they're in the northern version of our league because we're the central. Right. So I'm not 100%, but you know, we know they're a good side. They gave us a good side in a couple of years ago, so it'd be nice to.
I mean, the club's always got a good tradition of doing quite well in the county cups, and that's a semi-final now on the 5th. A week on Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, the 15th. Yeah.
And I think the final's on the 22nd of March. I don't want to preempt it, but yeah, that. Going to the county ground's quite a good experience. Yeah. It's a great facility over there. So let's hope we just get over that next hurdle, really. And
fingers crossed.
No, it's brilliant. I know there's not been a great deal of number of games you've played. And of course, because of the game on Saturday for the blokes who decided to make the pitch into a bit of a cow pat. So, yeah, there was a game on Sunday. But I'm sure Ian, the groundsman, he's got on it tomorrow anyway. So we'll try to do our best to get him. We just need to, fingers crossed, get some dry weather.
No slide tackles. Yeah. For us.
Exactly, yeah. I saw Tom Scarborough slide across. I thought, oh, shit. But yeah, it was brilliant. Okay, great. Just on a side note, I know we mentioned before we started filming, you were involved a little bit more in the journalism of this newsletter you do for the women's team. How's that been perceived, and how did that come about?
So it came about it was the off season before this season, and I'd messaged Rosie and I said, what do you reckon on doing sort of a match day programme, maybe every week possibly. Yeah. I said, I know the lads do something similar. And she was like, it might be a little bit too much every single week or every time we've got a home game. What if we do it monthly? Yeah. So we came up with the idea of doing it monthly, and then it just went from there, really. Yeah. We did at the very beginning of the season, because we knew what our ambitions were this season. We wanted to win the league. I ended up doing like a season number 5 sort of introduction, getting the squad in there and things like that. And then it just went from there. And every month we have Player of the Month, and I always try and pick one of the girls to do a little interview with or something. Really enjoy it though.
Have you measured how many people are reading it or anything like that? Is it just...
Yeah, so on the website, it's got over 1,000 opens on the actual simple booklet website. Yeah. But on the actual Instagram, Rosie showed me before, one of them had 10,000 views. Wow. So I was made up myself.
They are good. They are good, to be fair.
Yeah, they are a very good read. And I think, especially if you're not there every week, it's a vital read, I think, for me to keep up with what's going on and stuff. But it's something in perhaps you should monetize a little bit, just to put it in the back of your own, women's team coffers, really, a little bit. But especially if you've got those kind of numbers, it might be something to look at, certainly for next season.
Yeah, I think.
Especially if you've got a big shiny trophy written on it. But one of those was the interview with Christian. Yeah. So for those who don't know who Christian is, if you just turn up at Windleshore, he's there every week, both home and away, both men's and women's. So it's a conversation I've been trying to have with him over the last few months, to be honest. I've just never really got around to it. But you've had the opportunity to have a quick chat with him. Yeah. What was that like, and what did he say?
So I ended up asking him after one of our games. I said, what do you think on this? Rosie and I had talked about it. And I thought it's nice as well to be able to have a proper conversation and say, what brings you down here? I know you follow the men's and the women's sides. So it's nice. It's quite unique. I think he's got that unique perspective of watching both teams. Yeah. And I just sent him a message, really, a couple of questions. And he was messaging me on Friday night. And it was great having a little chat with him. seeing his, as I say, his perspective on things. I asked him, who his player of the season's been.
Yeah.
He was like, I've got a question of my own. I want to put my favourite player in,
Right, okay.
which was really nice. And yeah, as I say, I said, what would you say to someone that does go and watch the men's game? Try and encourage them to come down and watch the women's. And he had some really nice things to say, and nice things to say about the men's and the women's team. So it was, as I say, nice to get his perspective from the sidelines.
No, it's always good to have a good spot. I mean, we'll try and get him in one, maybe in the studio.
Yeah, I think he'd be great because he's super keen on the club. He absolutely loves the club.
Yeah,
it's nice, isn't it, to sort of give back to people who are
absolutely
coming and watching us every week.
I think that was a great move. But yeah, great. All right. Well, thanks for your insight. Would you want to quickly recap on the games coming up? So we'll flip back to you, Mike. So before we film the next episode, we've probably got 2 games, I think. We've got AFC Liverpool and Exton Villa. Is that right?
Yep.
On the Tuesday night?
Yeah, we play AFC Liverpool on the 7th, and then we've got Exton Villa on the 17th.
Yes. So that's this coming Saturday, AFC Liverpool. Yeah. They've had a bit of a resurgence recently, haven't they? I think they went through the mill a little bit of results, but they seem to have a bit of a resurgence coming through, and they're also in the quarterfinals of the Cup as well, so there'll be no push over these guys.
No, they're a good side. AFC Liverpool have got some very good young players. They've added a few players of late as well that are good. So it'll be a tough test. Again, it's another local game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the last 3 games that we've had against them, we've won the last 3. 2 of them being quite tight games. The last one of this season, which was away from home, we've beat them 5-1. But up until probably the 60th minute, it was tight. It was 1-1, and Tom Mack scored a little bit against the run of play. And then I think that deflated them. We took over from there then, and we were very good again. And so we've come away with a good win. They'll come to us. They'll want to keep the run going, and they'll want momentum going into the cup. So, we've got to make sure that we match the intensity that they'll bring, but we've also got to bring what we brought Saturday gone and go into it on the front foot. And we've got to go into every game wanting to win. If we want to stay in around those playoffs, we've got to go into every single game wanting to win. And that's going to be the message. Go out and no fear.
It's huge the next few weeks because this is, Charlotte Rich game was the first of 6 home games in the bounce, is it? 5, 6 home games. So it's a critical part of the season, really, isn't it? And I think, if you are watching, just make sure you get out and support the teams because we're at home for quite a few weeks now. So just get out there and support all 4 teams, really, and get over there. So I'd say 4, 3. Include the 18s of the moment. Anyway, so then we go into Exton Villa, which is always a tight game, isn't it? I think, was it 2-1 last at their place, wasn't it?
Yeah, we beat them 2-1 at their place. We were 1-0 down at half time, and we've come out well in the second half, and we've scored a couple of good goals. Obviously, Josh Briggs getting the winner against his former club, and his dad's a coach there as well. So, Josh has now moved on, but it was a good win for us, and I think that started a good decent run of results for us as well. So, that was a good win. But at Exton Villa, it's always a tough game against them. Yeah. They'll come to us wanting to win. They're still wanting to put points on the board, and I think just before they play us, they've got a big cup game themselves on the Saturday.
Right.
So hopefully they decide to rest. If they go through and they decide to rest a few players on the Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be nice. So great. Thanks for that. So like I said, there's loads of games coming up across the board. Both the men's teams and the women's team have got loads of home games. So get over there and support. If you can't make the Saturday, get there on a Sunday and vice versa, etc. So just to not forget the Rezzies. The Rezzies have only played the 1 game since the new year. They did have a game against Pennington. Is it Pennington FC? In the County Cup. Pennington decided they didn't fancy it, so they have been knocked out and were progressed into the next round of the cup. So, quite remember even we were drawn in the next round now, but it's the next couple of weeks. So, and the Rezzies, other than that, have played just the 1 league game against Warley Range Saturday gone. League leaders, very good side. They came out on a 4-1 loss. So that was a tough one to take, but I'm sure they'll bounce back. They've got the squad to do it, and there's some winnable games coming up over the next weeks. In fact, tomorrow they've got a game tomorrow, subject to weather. definitely need a 3G pitch or something, 100%. So if anyone's got a spare 700 grand, let me know and get the place returfed. So, but yeah, so they're the games coming up. Under 18s are doing really well. They've had a slight slip up recently, much to Baz Pope's annoyance, but he's pulled that team around very well. I think they're still leading the league and in contention to win the Premier Under 18s title as well. So that's it for the games. From me personally, from a club point of view, just a couple of things. Some of you may have seen the news on social media about the BTEC Level 3 sport. We've got a college status now. It's going to be a tall ask to try and get us up and running for September. But if you do know any friends or family or anything out there that might be interested in qualifications, it's a 2-year course. Study and learn on the site. It's a great course to be involved in. That intake's ready for September. Subject to numbers, we may roll over into the following September, but keep a post on all the socials, etc. The Bishop Road facilities, we mentioned pre-Christmas. That's coming on well. We've met with the council. We've had access to the buildings now. So structurally, it's all fine. We're coming up with some plans about redeveloping all of that. We're going to talk to the council as well about what we can do about the site, about fencing the pitches off, etc. It's going through all the legalities. So with a bit of luck, touch wood, we should be in a position by May, June time to have completed on that. And then that will give it a springboard really for more teams. We're about the women's reserves teams coming on board, progressing the under 18s into the Cheshire men's side so they can progress on there. And it gives a good platform for the rest of the club teams to follow that. So it's exciting times going on there. Lots of plans. We've got to put some projections, some portraits about what we're going to do the facilities over the next 5 and 10 years. So the business plan is well up and running on that one. So, but if you have anyone's out there that can support us behind the scenes, we've got a lot of work coming up over the next few years. I haven't got the time to do it all, so we're asking for volunteers to step forward and try and take some responsibility about how we take this club to the next level. So if there's anyone out there who wants to get involved in the club behind the scenes, just do drop me an email. The emails will roll down on the bottom of the screen shortly. It's chairman@fcstnellens.co.uk. So that's it. Exciting times ahead. We've got a lot of games coming up over the next few weeks. Get down and support the lads. This is a critical part of their season, but also importantly, get down and support the women's team. Massive part in the next few weeks about shaping the season they've had and to build on that continued success. So do all you can to go down and support all the teams down at FC. So thanks to our guests. Hopefully I'll see you again in a few weeks' time with even bigger smiles on and a slightly better weather. Don't forget to take that stuff out your boot, it stinks. So thanks very much, everyone. And we look forward to speaking to you and seeing you all again in a couple of weeks' time. Thanks very much. Bye, everyone. 24